In this video, we are going to have a brief introduction to what is referred to as cognitive load, how it can impact our students' learning, and then later we will go over a few things we can do in our instruction to reduce cognitive load to help facilitate learning. So, to understand what is meant by cognitive load, it is important to first know that people are limited in how many things they can hold in their minds at any one time. For example, what if I asked you to remember 3 words? Dog, cat, monkey. Simple enough, right? You can probably hold on to those 3 words in your mind without too much trouble. Well, how about I add 4 more words? Tree, candy, rain, ring. How are you doing now? Do you still have all of those words in your mind? In a nutshell, cognitive load refers to the load that you are carrying in your mind. More precisely, it refers to the amount of effort needed to hold information in working memory. Working memory just refers to what we are able to hold in our minds at any one time. Anything we are currently thinking about or paying attention to is being held in working memory. Working memory is basically the contents of our mind at any given moment. As soon as we stop thinking about something or paying attention to it, it is no longer in working memory. And as I mentioned before, working memory is limited. There's only so much space in working memory, and it can become full easily. During the learning process, students need to be able to hold on to new information in their minds in this working memory. Further, they're not just holding that new information in their minds, they are, working with it. They are comparing it to what they already know. They are relating it to the next thing that they are about to read or hear their instructor explain. They may be holding in their minds 2 new things that they have learned about in order to compare them for similarities or differences. They may need to deconstruct what they are learning or synthesize 2 or more things together. The thing is, each new task that students do with that information they are learning adds cognitive load. The bigger the cognitive load, the more working memory capacity is used up. Let's say I ask you to keep in mind those words I told you earlier. Did you forget them already? No problem. Let's put them back in your working memory. Here they are again. Dog, cat, monkey, tree, candy, ring, and rain. Okay, now I want you to think about which words are animals. Or how about which words began with the same letters? This gets a bit more difficult, right? That is because these tasks add cognitive load and therefore start to max out your working memory capacity. Cognitive load and working memory don't just concern the information you are trying to learn, they also concern any tasks or work you are doing with the information. Do you know what else adds to cognitive load? Anything and everything else that may be on your mind or demanding your attention at the moment. Are you multitasking as you watch this video? Are there other conversations going on around you that you're trying to tune out? Is your chair uncomfortable? Are you trying to watch this video at too small of a size? Any of these things will only add cognitive load, fill up your working memory, and therefore make it harder to learn the information or to do the task at hand. Add in too many extraneous factors, and you don't have any room left in your mind for the important stuff. Fortunately, with time and practice, the better we learn something, the more automatic it becomes for us. The more well-learned information becomes and the more automatic tasks become, the less cognitive load they carry, which means the less working memory capacity they use up. The tricky part is that what we as instructors are trying to teach our students typically doesn't hold a very heavy cognitive load for us since we know it so well. But this is not the case for our students. What seems like a simple concept or simple task to us may, in fact, be carrying such a heavy cognitive load for our students that it maxes out our students' working memory capacity. And remember those extraneous factors I just talked about? Add those to our students' cognitive load, and they may not have enough working memory capacity left to actually work with or do anything with the material we want them to learn. So the reason why I am bringing up cognitive load here is because the methods that we use to teach students can unintentionally increase unnecessary cognitive load, taking away working memory capacity for learning. Sure, there are certain extraneous factors that we can't control, like the environment an online student chooses to study in, but there are a number of factors we do have control over that can make a big impact on the cognitive load our students experience. In other words, we want to maximize the good cognitive load information we want students to focus on, work with, and learn, and to decrease unnecessary cognitive load that takes up space in working memory. Next, I want to show you just a handful of examples of how instructional methods can unnecessarily add to cognitive load and what we can do about them.